That is, now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believe.
Right? It says, now is our salvation nearer than when we believe, man. Okay? And the salvation begins with this word going out. All right? This is the beginning. This is the beginning of salvation, is this word going out, man. Okay, as Yahweh Shai said, he said the kingdom isn't going to come by observation, where they're going to say, lo here, lo there, but behold, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Okay, which is going to transmit into something physical that's going to happen, man. So whereas the elect of the nation of Israel, the Israelites, all right, are going to be beamed up into chariots, what the world calls UFOs. That's when you're saved. That's salvation. You getting a new body is salvation. The law, statutes, the commandments being written in your inward parts of salvation, man.
That's right.
Okay? So trying to use examples of the mixed multitude, crossing the Red Sea with the Israelites,
Right.
They were saved. No. Because what happened? What happened with what happened? They became hewers of wood and drawers of water, bitch. They became servants. You see? Salvation only pertains to the nation of Israel. Okay?
Right.
And those that are going to obtain it first and foremost on this side is the elect of the nation of Israel, man. Because that's who we out here to preach to. As the Apostle Paul said, he said, what? I endure all things for the elect's sake.
That's right.
All right? You guys got
it. This is back in Romans 13 and 11. Read that again. It says, and that knowing the time it is now, and that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believe.
Now is our salvation nearer than we believe, man. Our salvation. That's a possessive pronoun. He's saying our. He ain't talking to everybody. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 12. The night is far spent. The day is at hand.
The night is far spent. Like the night is far spent, and the day is at hand. What's that day? All right, that day's talking about what? The day of the Lord, when Yahweh Shai returns, man. And that night represents whenever we were in a drunken state, man. Ephesians the 2nd chapter tells you that. When we walked according to the course of this world, our minds being blinded by the prince of the power of the air, the spiritual demon Satan. That's when we were in a darkened state. See, but now the day is at hand, right? And Yahweh Shai is also known as what? The day storm.
Right.
You got it.
It says, let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light.
Right, let us cast off the works of darkness, which is the ways of this world. All right, which the ways of this world will make you an enemy of Yahweh Shai. You got to cast that. You got to cast that off. And what it says, put on the whole armor of light.
Yes.
And it tells you about that armor in Ephesians the 6th chapter, man. It gives you the prerequisites of what the armor entails, man. The helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the sword, which is the word of the Lord. Your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel. Your loins girded with the truth. You got to put on the elect, and that's what we're in the process of doing now, man. Okay, because right now we in the process right now. We're about to actually, like, it's about to be game time, like for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's kind of corny when you say it like that, but like things really about to start getting deadly serious out here, man.
That's right.
They already got the whole thing going on with the whole that happened at what Bondi Beach, saying it correctly. They're using that whole event, and they're going to twist that. They're going to use that event to twist it and make it illegal for you to say anything about the small hats, man. The people that are actually in control of the known world that we live in, man. The ones that are actually orchestrating pretty much everything that we see going on.
That's right.
That's orchestrating the news. That's orchestrating the media. That's manipulating the things that you see and it makes it look real. See? So very, very soon, a man's about to be made an offender for the word, man.
Right.
See? That's not it.
So they using like I said, they'll have it at the beach. That's gonna be some where they saying we got they got basically monitor a lot of the things on the in like on the internet.
Right.
And they using now. I see what's her name? C. Kirk wife has popped out again, and she's saying that why do they hate the small head? Why do people hate them? See, so they're gonna use her to be one of the faces of that. We got to do something about the hate on the small head.
Candace Owens.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of control position that's going on. Where you got these people that'll speak out against the baby cats.
Right.
You know, and they'll be exposed, you know, like Tucker Carlson and things. But these guys are all set up.
Yeah.
You know, we believe that they're CIA operatives, but at the end of the day, Yahweh Bashmal Shah is using these particular individuals to ultimately bring forth the truth. You see? It's not, you know, they can have a script for them to say particular things, but, you know, whether it's a pretense or truth, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
At the end of the day, the truth is coming out. You know, the wicked's being revealed, like the said, man. You know? Yes. Oh, tell me real quick. You had mentioned that about that piece about the woman. You know what I'm saying? And everybody don't have access to that, man. See, like the brother's going into it's only putting the link, man. This is Isaiah 33:6. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Now, when you go into that word treasure, it's Strong's H214. It's a watches are. It says treasure or storehouse. It says magazines of weapons, figurative of God's armor. Wow. But when you go into the, so I put it in Chat GPT, it's going into that word treasure. It says its meaning is a storehouse of treasury, armory, supplies reserved, or hidden stockpile. It says, hey, I'm sorry, it said hidden stockpile, right? Makes me think of the scripture Revelation, hidden in, which is this knowledge. This knowledge is really the truth. Right? You got it says this word is used elsewhere for weapon storehouse in Jeremiah 50:25. It says treasures of kings. It says a storehouse of provision for war or famine. It says the fear of the Lord or the fear of Yahweh is not just something valuable. It's a strategic reserve, a divine armory from which strength, wisdom, and salvation are drawn. But like the point was saying, like one of the definitions said, man, it's a hidden stockpile, man, a storehouse. So it lets you know that everybody, it says the fear of the Lord is his treasure. So it lets you know that fear gives you access into that storehouse, right? To be able to have those like it says in Ephesians chapter 6, that helmet and the breast, you know what I'm saying, and the shield and the sword. That's accessing, you know what I'm saying? And that's access from that fear, all right, into that storehouse, man. It tells, like it says, strength. You pull strength from that storehouse, and it's all through fear, man. You see, fear gives you access to all that. And fear is going to lead to spiritual power, man. Fear of the Lord is going to lead, all right, to spiritual power, because that's inside that storehouse, man. And you're only able to tap into that through the fear of the Lord, man. A lot of these niggas don't have the fear of the Lord, man. You see? The scriptures talk about how the fear of the Lord is a strong confidence, man. You know, like you said, a lot of guys, they don't really tap into fear in Yahweh. So that's the beginning of being wise, man. That's the beginning of wisdom. You know, and understanding is what depart from evil. Apart from the things that are displeasing from Yahweh, man. But you see, that's why the scripture says that, look, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, and strength and salvation, and the fear of the Lord is treasure. Man, it said supply reserve, a hidden stockpile. All right, the armory that when I was thinking about that, it made me think about that scene in the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? When Neo and what's her name? Trinity was about to go try to save Morpheus, and Tank loaded them up, and you know what I'm saying, into the program, and you know that way you know what I'm saying, when that fucking line of guns the whole fucking room start filling with weapons, they start picking from it. That's that access, all right, that we have through the fear of the Lord, and to tap into these divine weapons, man. Right. You see? It's gonna take a spirit, because you can't fight a spiritual war. The scriptures say this is a spiritual war. You can't fight a spiritual war with carnal weapons. Right. You got 2/3 of Jake in Israel, Hebrew Israelites, thinking that you're gonna be able to fight this spiritual war with carnal weapons. Let's tap into Esau's blessing, nigga. You gonna lose, bro. You need divine weapons and divine armor for this spiritual war, man. You know.
Hey, even if it's not necessarily they go out Jake, they way out of Jacob's trouble.
Right.
You know, you got this guy catching Sawyer basically on a PR campaign, a public relation campaign to make understanding more palatable to the world. There's no easy way to say that you're gonna rule. You know what I'm saying? There's no easy way to say that guys over there that had the tiny tops, or imposters. You know, you have to know, like in the near future, you're going to be demonized. And the only thing that's going to save you that is the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
Right.
That's the only thing that's gonna save. You know? Got it. Let's see here. Ephesians 6:12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Yeah. Well, spiritual wickedness in high places, man. See, because these high-level luminaries, these different elite banking families, our childs, our fellas, you catch my drift. You know, all these. You see that? That's the spirit. The Lord always brings forth an example. Wow, that's it. You know, but you got these particular. Bro, I tell you, man, the Lord always brings forth an example.
Yeah, bro.
You know, but these particular elite banking families that are ruling the world, what the world deems as what the so-called Illuminati, the enlightened ones. You know, at the end of the day, these individuals, they're ruling the world in wickedness, man. Why? Because they got actual left-hand spirits dealing with them, man. Right. See? They got left-hand spirits that are actually dealing with them, telling them what to do, working with them to bring forth all the evil that you see going on in the world around you, man.
Right, right. Hey, that's why the pedophilia rings are being exposed so much. Because Esau Edom was into that type of sacrifice.
Yeah, man.
You know? He's into that. He's that type of sacrifice. He's into that type of strange rites.
Yep. Yep. And it all goes back to ancient, it goes back to ancient Hamitic, ancient Sumerian, Mesopotamian rituals, man.
Right.
See?
It's adopted by the Greeks. Especially in the Ptolemaic reign. They was in Egypt. You know what I'm saying?
No, because everything is recycled, man. That's why America is known as Babylon the Great. It's also known as that great whore. See, and what happens ultimately to a whore, man? You know, a whore gets burned alive. You know, a whore gets put to death. That's what the Lord is going to do to this place, man.
Right.
He's going to send fire. He's going to send divine fire against America, man. That divine fire is going to be by way of the chariots of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua with the world deems as UFOs, as well as ICBM thermonuclear missiles, man. You have the whole Threat Atlas situation, which is supposed to pass by today. Like, you know, and then you have 23 countries doing the largest defense drill in history. 23 countries are doing it right now, man. You got to ask yourself, why is that? Do you think it's really because of atomic or whatever the thing? No, man. They're Psalms the second chapter. They're preparing themselves to fight against the Lord, man.
Right.
Okay. Yes.
This is Ephesians 5 and verse 14. It says, wherefore he saith, awake, thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead. The Mashiach shall give thee light. That's what we are. You know, this is a battle. And we just read in Ephesians, the elder read in Ephesians 6 and 12, you know, we will fight. You know, it's not a battle against flesh and blood when you get this understanding. All right. It's the rulers of darkness. So you got the dark against the light. All right. And that's what we're looking at. What basically is going to fold into the rulers of darkness. It's going to try to roll on the whole world and try to set up what? An N to the W to the O. All right. That would even the first Bush said that. All right. And that is not what Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to let reign forever. But like I said, if you don't get this light from Yahweh Shah, because it comes from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. If you don't have this light that's come from him, you're going to receive what? The destruction that's going to happen to the rulers of darkness. This is what's coming upon the earth. Before that happens, it's going to be what? A lot of things that Esau is setting up come down on the people. You know, mainly he want to get rid of Jake. He mainly want to get rid of Jake, but he wants to come down and cover it because he can't pinpoint everybody. Because, like I said, these rulers in high places, they know that we're scattered amongst these other nations.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they want to get rid of Jake. So they're gonna be basically putting this that's what they're setting up for, the MOT to the V. That's why we're finna see these changes. We're finna see the digital digital, what is that? The fifth industrial, what is
Fourth industrial.
fourth industrial. Yeah. They're getting ready to set that up. All this is being set up, like I said, with the AI, all these things that's coming about you. This is something not to help you, but basically to put you in a 5 minute, with a 15-minute city, and also you can get rid of some of the ones, the pests, the ones that don't want to bow the knee, the ones that's just tripping. We gotta get rid of them.
Right.
But when they seclude you, then they can get rid of you, and you can't see everybody. That's why they're gonna start monitoring, making things harder to get out on social media, on the internet. Esau got a plan that's been setting up for years. All right.
Sorry.
Go.
I'll finish.
No.
It's like I was gonna say, because it goes back. It goes back to an ancient hatred, man.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to antiquity. You know, like the scripture says in Ezekiel, it says that he had the perpetual hatred. You get that word perpetual. That word in the Hebrew is iwalam, all right, which goes into a antiquity of an old hatred. See, there's a reason as to why the so-called self-proclaimed white man Esau Edom, all right, had a specific hatred, specifically. I mean, all the tribes of Israel, but mainly on Judah, right? It's perpetual, and it's happening on a very, very high level, but it's more so psychological warfare. See, it's reason for that, man. You see, because it stems back to what? Esau getting Yaakov at the pussy.
Right.
You know? Yes.
Quick. Ezekiel 21:9, son of man, prophesy and say, thus said Yahweh, a sword is sharper and also furnace. It is sharper to make a sword slaughter. It is furnace that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It condemneth the rod of my son as every tree.
It says, should we then make birth? You got a lot of Israelites that have a birthy spirit, man.
Yeah.
You know, that want to play around and try to make the ministry about themselves. They want to be on this show. They want to be on this podcast. They want to be here. They want to be there. They want to make this person set up this system. And you know, they want to be cute Israelites, man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. Still want to be. All you want to be cute Israelites. I want to look at me. You know, but here it is, man. Hey, here it is, man. Your enemy, Esau, and the rest of these different heathen nations, man. I mean, it begins with Esau, but the rest of these different heathen nations don't fuck with you either. All right, the scripture says that they're confederate against thee. They got systems set in place so that you can be eliminated. Either you're gonna be down with the MO, you're gonna be down with this beast system, all right? Get a microchip inside of you so that you can be a perpetual slave, or nah, man. Or what? You're gonna be out of there, man. See, but the Lord gonna set the standard for those that stand stiffly for his name, man. But you got a lot of Israelites that are not teaching. They're not getting their congregation ready. They're not making them ready for the battle.
Right.
As the scripture says, man. You know, I got a quick see Jeremiah 33, verse 23 and 24. It says, moreover, the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah, saying, considerest thou not what this people have spoken, saying, the two families which Yahweh hath chosen, he hath even cast them off? And that's exactly what these different heathen nations are saying, man. They truly think that the Lord cast us away. See, we got cast into various different captivities. You know, we're at the bottom. Like it says in Lamentations, the 2nd chapter. What did they do, man? They put us in slavery. You know, so they felt as if, okay, yeah, man. You know, hey, at the end of the day, man, they threw. Right? It says the two families, which that's talking about the northern and southern kingdom, right? The two families which Yahweh have chosen, he hath even cast them off. Thus they have despised my people, that they should be no more a nation before them. See that? So they really want to they really want to strip your nationality away from you, period, man.
Right.
They've already done that, and they're still doing it with the particular philosophies and democracy and education, history.
The image of the beast.
That's what the image of the beast entails, man.
Part of the image of the beast is basically us enduring a neo-caste system.
Yep.
And the caste is basically is a hierarchy of people. You know what I'm saying? These other nations that came over here, they had the same conceit about us that we're low level. You know what I'm saying? Although the various people, you know what I'm saying, who come over here, they have basically benefited off of you know what I'm saying, Australia's right, civil rights that we have made. You know what I'm saying? So they're able to come over here and not get restricted against. And these are even gonna put him in a different caste system, you know, say, and give him more opportunity than the various people in which the legislation was passed.
Lazarus and the rich man. Dogs can't.
Yeah, that's the dogs.
You know. So they like the elders going into, man, that's it. That's the image of the beast. And most people can't really break down the beast, the image, and the part.
Yeah,
They really can't differentiate what the beast is, what the image is, and what the mark is.
yeah. They confuse it too. Or they speak about it as if it's interchangeable or synonymous, tomato type.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you hear Captain Sarniak, he makes a statement, well, you need a senior for them to make you buy a city. You're already buying and selling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Under that system, basically. Well, commerce, which is buying scale on large scale, that's a part of the image of the beast. Capitalism, capitalism is part of the image of the beast. You know what I'm saying? Now, the actual physical C hip, right? If you get my drift, right? That RFID C hip, right? That's something that's tangible that's going to be implanted in individuals. And also, it distinguishes between the MOTB and the image of the beast. You know what I'm saying? In Revelation, the 14th chapter, around the 9th verse. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
So yes, we're buying and selling under this system, but that's a part of the curses too, right?
Right.
Well, it says Deuteronomy 28:48 that we have to go to him for one of all things. And under the image of the beast or Rome, right? Revised Rome will conduct the business, man. It's the same philosophy, same system that was implemented in ancient world. See it now. You know?
Yep. When it comes down to buying and selling, that's how people operate as food. That's how traffic.
Right.
That's traffic.
All that traffic.
You know. So when you can control the flow of goods and services, and you can control how to access goods and services, essentials, whether it be food, water, medicine, you know, for you to be able to drive a car, for you to be able to have a home. When you change the concept of what money is and how to access those particular essentials, right? That's when you get tied into that system, that new way, so that new system, I rather say. Because you'll have somebody like Sabak that'll say the mark of the beast. And when and even when he says, I understand what he's saying when he says this, but even so, it's still very, very low level and stupid. The mark of the beast is John 3:16.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. That's
that's very, very, very extremely low level of understanding.
right.
That's why the scripture says, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. For it is a number of a man, and its number is 666.
Right.
And Jake can't even break down what the 666 means.
Right.
High size stigma.
Right.
And what is that stigma?
Right.
That stigma is the puncture. That it's going to be what pierces you. The device used to insert the charagma. And once again, you got to have understanding to be able to break that down. You know? Yes.
Real quick. Ezekiel 28 and start at 3. Now this is talking about the Prince of Tyrese. You know, but we can relate this to Esau Edom. Now in I want to say Greek mythology, Europa, it said that Europa, which Europe was named after, came from Tyrese. You know what I'm saying? You can look that up, you know what I'm saying, if need be. Okay? Her name is Europa. She is she basically came from Tyrus. Okay? In Greek mythology. That's Europa, that's what Europe is named for. You can relate that to this now. And also who's ruling globalization now, right? Esau Edom. Okay? And he has made himself wise in that game. Bring it out, bro.
Yep. It says, I said that Europa comes from Tyrus. It says yes. According to Greek tradition, Europa is said to have come from Tyre or Tyrus, which was a major Phoenician city. Here's a clear breakdown. Who is Europa? Europa was a Phoenician princess, daughter of King Agenor, Phoenix, depending on the source. Her family ruled in the region of Phoenicia. Where is she from? Ancient sources place her homeland in Tyre or Tyrus or Sidon. Same place.
Same thing. Right.
The Greek myth. Now it's going to like translate.
Right. And he grabbed her. He grabbed her up. The Charles boy came and grabbed her up. That's where Europe is named after.
It says, I'm going to get the biblical tie-ins. It says, Tyre equals a symbol of wealth, trade, and corruption of nations.
Right. Wealth, trade, and the corruption. Who's over commerce now? Who rules over commerce? Esau Edom. Job not verse not simple, but a milk scripture. Okay, Job 9:2 for the earth to get into the kingdom. He covers the faces of judgment of it. Not where it is. Esau Edom rules over the resources, the capital. It's a part of capitals is humans. Revelation 18 chapter, the souls of man, right? Slaves. This man, he got the lot. He got it on lock. And there's a system that's set in place that he utilizes to rule the economy, which is capitalism, which is part of the image of the beast.
That's it. Yep, the dollar.
Right.
You know, the dollar being used off oil, like better words, petrodollar. You know, that's really what got America. How America got rich was through his military power, the sword, and his blessing. All right, getting these various different nations pretty much subjected underneath his weight, putting in a puppet leader in there. You know what I'm saying? To push forth America's agenda worldwide, and then they use the dollar, the petrodollar,
Right.
to pretty much be able to reap in resources. Because how do these nations got to trade?
He take contracts.
Exactly.
He's able to dictate contracts with the petrodollar. Right? He say he's able to come to you and say, hey, China, I want you to make this for me at this price. I pay you this much, and you're gonna give me for this price. Which was catalyst to consumerism, which practically this whole world is dictated off of America spending money.
See, that's why the nation of the earth is something like the United States. The whole nation of the earth is down. All these nations depend on America. Right. Every single last one of these nations depend on America. Even you got BRICS and you got the various nations that are so big giants, they still rely upon the dollar. That's saying, that's why you're not gonna have a nation and toast everything.
Ezekiel 28:3, behold, thou art watching and Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from me. With thy wisdom, with thy understanding, thou hast got the riches and has got gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches.
Can I get that word traffic?
See, 28.
Look, here it is. Look, and that word traffic, all right, you pull it up here in the Hebrew, is rakalah. All right, rakalah. In the definition here, it says traffic, but it also says merchandise, traffic, or trade. Right? Then when you get the root word, which is rakal, it says to go about, trafficker, trader, a merchant, to travel for trading.
Right.
Merchant.
Travel for trade. You know what I'm saying? In a nutshell, or we can use extrapolation, I should say, to go into what? Globalization, which is buying and selling on a global world, on a global platform. Who rules that? We saw, whether it be the bear, Russia, or America. You know what I'm saying? Now, both, America is on top right now, but Russia's making political plans, things of that nature, put itself in a situation where it could circumvent the strength of the American dollar or the petrodollar, like the brother just briefly went into. But it's still Esau.
Right, exactly.
It's still Esau. He got the fatness of the earth right now, bro.
Yep. It's just the Lord is going to use God to ultimately bring down, to ultimately take out America, which is Babylon the Great. But at the end of the day, like you said, they still Edomites. They still Edomites. And they still going to get that issue.
Yep.
That's why the scripture says, "I am against thee, O Gog and Magog," in Ezekiel the 38th chapter. But the Lord is going to use Russia to ultimately bring forth judgment to America. Right? Okay. Yes, sir.
I had the Revelation 18.
Oh, big deal.
It's I'll get to the point. It's Revelations 18 and 9. And I'm reading the NLT. It says Revelation 18 and 9. And the kings of the world who committed adultery with her and enjoyed her great luxury will mourn for her as they see the smoke rising from her charred remains.
That's how you know, all right, that when Yahweh returns, everybody will die. All right. Vocab alone sit here and say Babylon is just Babylon the greatest. It's symbolic of a global system. Oh, okay, well, who controls this global system?
Right.
Who's controlling it? Okay, how are the nations going to see the smoke of her burning? That goes to show you that there's still going to be people here. But you're going to have a job to do whenever we get out the trades.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The elite's still going to be in the bunkers. You're going to have people around the world. You're going to have the world. I mean,
Chaos.
yeah, the world's going to be complete disarray, man. It ain't going to just be America falls and then, people in Europe trying to just over there and still just partying and living it up. Man, we got to think that the chariots is going to be all over the skies. People will be afraid. Earth rocking to and fro like a truck. It's going to be complete chaos taking place, man.
Radiation will be everywhere, man. That's a very interesting time period.
Yeah, curious to see how how
it play out, right?
Bro, they're gonna do what they gonna clean it up. They're gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, bro. I see why it's gonna take a thousand years.
Yep. You have to learn this technology in order for them to be taskmasters and make them clean this place up. To where it's gonna be, totally cleansed and renewed. It's gonna be a very interesting time period.
Revelation 18 and 10 says they will stand at a distance, terrified by her great torment. They will cry out, how terrible for you, O Babylon, you great city. In a single moment, Yahweh Shem Shai's judgment came on you. That judgment is going to be set forth, come upon Babylon the Great. And we've mentioned these, and the priest was going into how the other nations going to lament, because everything is really pegged onto the dollar. Now you see this fight against, who's going to basically come forth with this digital system, who's going to be the forefront of that. But ultimately, like I said, Babylon the Great has been ruling and been basically owning everybody by this petrodollar for years and years. So this is something, this is been a well-oiled machine for a long time.
Yeah, since after World War II, during the Good Agreement, when they decided to basically make the American dollar the reserve currency. You know what I'm saying? So the American currency has been thriving for damn near a century. You know what I'm saying? That's a long time issue.
According to the market, when they changed to like the petrodollar, that really cornered the market. Everything is built. Majority of things you see and do, it got oil. It contains oil.
Everything.
The
pants that you got on, oil was used for you to have these pants on right now. Yep. The water bottle, the Ozarka bottles that you get from the store to drink your water out of, oil.
Right, cracking. It's a term called cracking, where they take petroleum, oil, and make it plastic.
Yep.
Plastic in your cars, things of that nature, man. Hey, man, this man got the game on lock, bro.
Yep.
He got it on lock. He got it down pat. down pat.
Okay.
It's a system. That's why they call it the beast system.
Mm-hmm.
You know. You got something any more on that about?
Good. This is verse 11. It says, Revelation 18 and 11 in the NLT. It says, the merchants of the world will weep and mourn for her, but there is no one left to buy their goods.
There it is. There's no one left to buy. Read that again, bro.
God. It says, the merchants of the world will weep and mourn for her.
See, these Christians can't go in and break this stuff down.
Uh,
Ask God Logic to break this down. He ain't gonna have no clue what the hell's going on.
Man, he gonna filibust.
Right. What does this have to do with,
You
well,
tell me. You tell me.
yeah, well, you tell me. Exactly. Yeah, that whole filibuster. You tell me what it means. It's clearly talking about the system that's in place right now.
Yep. Hey, a prime example of that is look when Trump implemented these tariffs on these various Asian countries. What happened? Shit, man, these Asian countries, their economy there tanked. You know what I'm saying? To where their various stock markets was crashing. They had to actually literally, for lack of a better term, turn them off.
Right.
Yeah.
To stop these various countries, stock markets from crashing, man.
Yep.
And they had to come to the table, especially and basically refinance that contract that they have with America. That shows the strength of this place, bro. Because they are number one in export items.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We're number one in input. So they're dependent on us buying their goods. And it says that right in the scriptures, bro. They're going to look big. Go ahead.
God. I'll read 11 again. It says, the merchants, this is Revelation 18 and 11 in the NLT, the merchants of the world will weep and mourn for her, but there is no one left to buy their goods.
Right.
She bought great quantities of gold, silver, jewels, and pearls, fine linen, purple, silk, and scarlet clothes, being made of fabric, thyine wood, ivory goods, and objects made of expensive wood and bronze, iron, and marble.
That's right. So you look on the back of you look at, those were expensive things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we can make that, and we can take it to layman terms. The backpack that you have, so you look inside of it, it says made in where? Vietnam, India, you know what I'm talking about? These various Asian countries, right? Your clothes made over there. You know what I'm saying? The items that you have in your house, majority of it made in the Asian, continent. Chinese, Taiwan. Hey, the Apple phone. You know what I'm saying? The engineering and ingenuity came from where? Came from goddamn Taiwan, if I'm not mistaken. Okay?
Well, all these various different countries, they rely on America, man. They rely on Babylon, bro. So when this nation falls, when America falls, man, these various different nations are gonna fall simultaneously.
Right.
You know?
I still going into like different things.
Also, when you read it in Revelation, a lot of those things that says that America has there, a lot of those things are imported in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not something that actually is naturally produced here in America.
Right.
It talks about frankincense.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of these things that's written about there is things that is not naturally produced here in America.
Right.
They have to be brought in. There you go.
Now, Revelation 13 to 18 says, and cinnamon and odors, and ointment.
13.
13.
Let's see.
8,
13.
oh, sorry. Revelation 18 and
Okay.
13. Revelation 18 and 13. It says, and cinnamon and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine and oil.
There it is,
Five.
frankincense. Frankincense comes from what the boss politics. You know, that's not something that's native to America. It has to be brought in. You know, yeah.
and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, chariots, and slaves.
Hey, cattle. Hey, people who are conspiratorial, right? That's the fancy word for C's. You know what I'm saying? Or CT, excuse me. The spirits, right? Conspiratorial. They say, well, how is everybody eating this meat? How's everybody have extra meat 24/7? You see the cows around here? Think about it. They eat so and so, which that's something that's probably. But the reason why is because they're importing cattle from various nations, right?
Right. Yep.
From South America, from Canada.
That makes sense. Man, and shit. Whacking beef shit.
Yep, all types of goods are coming here.
Soybeans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, like I said, like wheat, like a lot of that. I mean, we produce wheat, but a lot of the wheat that comes from like the whole region of like Ukraine. You know, that war that's still going on between Russia and Ukraine still happens. Man.
Yep. People don't even talk about it.
You know, it's because how many years? Like 20,
Yep.
20, actually. So it's going on 6 years.
Yeah.
Damn.
About 4 years.
Okay, it was like 20.
No, true. You know what? You might be right, bro. You might be right.
Yeah, I'm not saying I think it started around like 2020. I could give or take 2 years or so, but at the end of the day, it's been going on this whole time.
Yep.
And everybody's still walking around, just as nothing's going on
Right.
in that hypnosis state. You know?
I think that Russia could have been probably just knocked, destroyed them and bombed them all in hell, but he still got help with with NATO. But Russia don't want to destroy the land. They want to take it. They want the land. They want Ukraine, but they don't want to destroy it. So that's why they just wear them down. But what's keeping Frank afloat is they don't.
They turn these off.
Yep.
No, Ukraine is really they tiny.
Yep.
It caught it with captors.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a love for white nationalists. The special forces are really white nationalists. That's why we don't give a fuck about the goddamn Ukraine.
Right, exactly.
Russia doing an excellent job. Good job, nigga.
Right.
American it in. Ain't
Yeah.
Verse 14 is Revelation 18-14 in the NLT. It says, the fancy things you love so much are gone. They cry, all your luxuries and splendors are gone forever.
The scripture supposed to say Isaiah the 14th chapter says what? Babylon has ceased, the golden city ceased. The golden city. All the traffic and all the the glitz and the glamour of Babylon being the beacon of morality and the hub of the hub of light and riches and splendor is gonna be gone in 1 hour, man. The Lord gonna take his blood, the Lord gonna take it out.
Yep.
Hey, that Statue of Liberty falling in Brazil, that replica of the Statue of Liberty falling in Brazil, that was an omen. That was an omen. And yeah, a lot of people going to social media and things of that nature saying that was an harbinger of things to come. And a harbinger is pretty much it's like a preview of a preview of an event that's getting ready to happen.
Right.
When that replica of the Statue of Liberty fell down, and that goes to also show you that Babylon. Here it is. Why does Brazil got a replica of the Statue of Liberty in Brazil? Then in the background, what did you see in the background? You see the McDonald's right there. You know what I'm saying? That goes to show you that Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. His philosophies are spread. Brazil got a replica of the Statue of Liberty. And when it fell, what broke first was the light. The light broke, and then the head fell, and then the head ripped off. And scripture says, he will lose thy head, thou shalt bruise his head. Genesis 3rd chapter. That was a sign of things to come. Man, light of the wicked shall be put out. Job 18. You know,
Finish this. Revelations 18 and 14 in the NLT say the fancy things you love so much are gone. They cry, all your luxuries and splendor are gone forever, never to be yours again.
never to be yours again. Because America's never going to be. It's never going to come back up again, man. Okay, this system known as America, the American dream, and the American way, is going to be. It's going to be done, man.
Right?
It's going to be like waking up from a bad dream. See, I tells you that. I think Psalm 126. You know, when the Lord turns again the captivity of Zion, it's going to be as if though them that slept the dream. You know, this American nightmare is going to be completely done. We ain't gonna be sitting there and we ain't gonna be in the kingdom thinking about, you know, man, I remember, you know, and remember when LeBron James passed
Yeah.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. What they ain't gonna be thinking about that shit.
Who you think better, man? MJ.
And you're terrible.
LeBron. Yeah, in the kingdom, man.
Right.
Fuck that.
Yeah, man, I wish I would have seen the Browns in the Super Bowl. Like, man, what? That shit gonna be that's gonna be an afterthought, man.
Okay.
You know?
Kind. Isaiah 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?
Right. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven? See, this ain't going into no fairy tale, some fable, I'd rather say, of Lucifer being the angel in the heavens. That was the Lord's greatest creation. And then he was so bad that he just rebelled against the Lord. He got thrown down to earth. He got hit. He got slammed so hard he went through the earth, and then went to this place called hell. That he just made that his own. He made that his domain. And they, digging the horns out his head out of nowhere. They got bat wings. You know what I'm saying? When you think about it, it sounds absolutely stupid. Right. Okay, that word Lucifer in the Hebrew was Hayallah. Okay, which goes to a carrier of the light.
Right.
When you break it down even further, in the blue letter, it says what? It's a metaphor for the king of Babylon.
Man.
You know? So how art thou fallen from heaven, your position of rulership, O Lucifer, or the king of Babylon?
I'm gonna read it in NLT. Isaiah 14 and 12 in the NLT. How you are fallen from heaven, O shining star, son of the morning. You have been thrown down to the earth. You destroyed the nations of the world.
Ye who destroyed the nations of the world. Okay? With a perpetual, I think it says in the KJV, with a perpetual stroke. You know? And how did they destroy the nations of the world? Through their philosophies. Through the American way, like we was going into earlier, man. They'll destroy it. They'll destroy the nation, topple it, set up their puppet leader, and then pretty much put that nation in subjection under debt. And they'll give them a loan that they could never pay back, and they'll just have that nation in continual debt forever.
It's crazy. Nasty.
For you said to yourself, I will ascend to heaven and set my throne above God's stars. I will preside on the mountain of the gods far away in the north. I will climb to the highest heavens and be like the Most High.
Man.
Instead, you will be brought down to the place of the dead, down to the lowest depths.
They ain't talking about no place where you burn forever. They ain't talking about no physical place called hell. It's talking about graves. You're gonna be brought down.
Yep.
So he's in this high, lofty, heavenly position now, ruling every damn thing, has control over all the resources. He has control over it. He wants to control you.
Right.
Right.
He wants to put a chip and actually control you, your thoughts, your mind, your being. But he gonna be brought. He gonna go from riches to rags in an instant.
Right. Yep. Just a part of that captivity is basically, hell, I should say, is basically a low state. It's gonna be seen as that wigger of the earth.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we walking around, you see Jake sagging and looking crazy as hell. That's gonna be Esau.
Man.
People look at him in the text like, ugh.
They shall narrowly look upon you. Man.
Right.
You know, the nation's gonna barely look at Esau, man. Yeah, matter of fact, I think it goes into Isaiah 14 a different way.
Yep. Next verse. Yeah, that's right. Instead, you will be brought down to the brought down to the place of the dead, down to the lowest depths. Everyone there will stare at you and ask, "Could this be the one who shook the earth and made the kingdoms of the world tremble?"
Yup. And that's talking about America, man.
Yeah.
Ruled by these Edomites, so-called white men. You know? And known as what? The hammer of the earth.
Right.
That's why America's known. That's why America's known as the, how is the hammer of the earth been broken? You know, it's constantly beating these nations down, man. You know? That's why when America falls, like the fall of this place is gonna cause the whole world to be in shock. You heard Donald J. Trump's you heard of his pretty much his him addressing the nation the other day. He was talking big boy, shit. Yeah, he was talking big boy shit, man. All the other nations, they envy America's greatness. You know,
Right.
they envy the greatness.
Yeah.
They want to be like us. And we're gonna show them. He was like, bro, they out, bro. He had to look more stout than this fellow. He was like, man, look, yeah, ain't no nation fucking with us.
Right.
He's like, and next year gonna be the 250th year of our anniversary, man.
Yeah.
We doing big boy shit this year.
They just have like celebrations, things of that nature. Hey man, it's not gonna go that way, bro. You just look at the trajectory of like the economy, the morale of the people, bro, and everybody kind of knows that. Hey, bro, this shit is crazy. Even somebody who's slaving, look, that's spirit, son. Trying crazy. Like shit supposed to get wild out here, bro. 2026 is gonna be a doozy.
Right.
Woo, boy.
That, 250 years, that's really the extent of an empire. You know, after 250 years, that's like the lifespan of the empire. After that, usually empires are on the decline. They already on the decline, but 250 years is when they basically is it.
We can see the decline now. But you got Trump trying to reposition himself on a low level. I mean, America's still strong, openly speaking. Don't get it twisted. But even we've been reporting on Brits for the longest. But you had Trump himself even saying like, "Hey, we gotta do something about." Basically, like we're gonna do something about BRICS. We're gonna lose the American dollar strength, and that's gonna be a problem. So now you even had somebody like Trump just saying what we've been predicting this whole time. Like, this is a problem. They start to address it. And what you see going on in Venezuela, people aren't really paying attention to because they're so used to Esau kicking ass.
Right.
Babylon kicking ass. And this war, man, is feeling different, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's feeling different, bro. Messing with Venezuela, I'll say it like this, man. Messing with Venezuela and they oil was fucking with China's pockets.
Right.
China's not gonna go for this. You think them Asian boys play fair? Them niggas play for keeps.
Yep.
You know, they don't get it twisted. America and China still has a very interdependent relationship. China runs a substantial amount of food industries here in Babylon, bro.
Yep.
Who's to say that? I don't know that, something has get recalled. That before it get recalled, X amount of people, gets underlined because, China, the Moabites just accidentally put too much so-and-so or don't look at so-and-so. Hey, man, we ran that corner, but Tesla's going to be, you're going to have a hard time.
AKA fentanyl.
Yep, and then they're coming out with another fentanyl. They're
Goddamn.
coming out with a higher grade of fentanyl. I forget the term for it. Starts with C. Right?
Didn't Trump just declare fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then what's the trick was he lowered the grade of marijuana. But shit, this synthetic weed got traces of fentanyl in it.
Man, he saw it, man. He's a crafty devil when he's at work, man. And then when he says these particular things, you got to know it's a more sinister, devious action that's going behind it.
Yeah.
It's all an agenda.
I think we just drink up, smoke, drink, man, drink, smoke. Hey, man, eat that. Eat that mushroom, man. Man, eat that.
Get it like a problem.
Man, say, motherfuckers will be trying to escape. Since they're break loose, they gonna escape off. They gonna escape, all right?
Hey, it talks about the apparitions.
Yep. Hey, that's what's going on lately. A lot of people they're unaliving themselves accidentally. There's an increase in people dying because of drug overdoses. You know what I'm saying?
Let's stop the pain.
Trying to stop the pain. Got some.
Isaiah 24 in verse 9. See what's going on.
Yeah, probably like the first 6 seconds.
First up about the earth.
Yeah, he
So
started
Isaiah chapter 24 verse 6 says, therefore hath the curse
sort of. Yep.
Isaiah 24 verse 5, it says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Yeah, you got sort of a lot of people language. They gonna
Started spoke to Isaiah chapter 24 verse 4 says the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away.
Yep, the world languisheth and fadeth away, man. People are languishing. All right, people are in the worst state that they've ever been in, man. You know, financially speaking, it's harder to save money. People are stress levels are the highest that they've ever been. Testosterone levels are the lowest that they've ever been.
Yep.
For men.
And they're saying in every state, like there's no state in the U.S. that minimum wage can pay for a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yep.
That lets you know how bad it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's expensive, bro. It's getting expensive.
Man, you try to get yourself, you try to stay at home. Man, you put yourself in straits.
Right.
You put yourself in straits trying to do this shit. You trying to shield your children from this world, man. And it's just like, there's no way you can only shield them for so long to where, you're trying to metaphorically trying to hold up a wall, financial wall, or cultural wall, and then collapse on you in this world, bro.
Hey,
Well, they gotta go to these people.
right. Yep.
And these people are teaching each other all types of abominations, man.
Man, Christmas.
Yeah, it's just, it's like, how'd you learn that? We don't talk about it. But it's on TV,
Around it all day.
around it all day.
You're not even, you barely have, bro, you got children, you barely even got time to even teach your children.
Right. Yep.
You can't, it's hard, you really can't even teach your children, man. And then really, really the wife is the first teacher of the children.
Yeah.
She can't
do so much. She
time. She go.
Yep.
Right. Over y'all time.
Yep. Go for your time.
Now you eat TV dinners and
Still
shit.
tablet, man. Like,
Yeah,
damn,
you know what
bro.
I'm saying? Like, yep, at the tablet, bro.
Tablet. Then they go to the nigga net, on the internet, the nigga net.
Right.
They go to that bullshit. It's all kind of, your brain is fried.
You try to find yourself, you try to find something for your kids that's, this shit, people of color. And it's like the option you have is so low. You got Gracie Corner.
Yeah.
You get tired of hearing that because like this shit too damn nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, people like trying to get this shit, man. Turn that shit down, man. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, you got that fucking Manny Fresh Bright in the background. You know what I'm talking about, man. Oh, man, I feel like you for service.
it's still Esau's bullshit.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Bro, yeah. It's a black culture.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, like, damn.
Like,
Bad as hell, like, now.
big upstairs.
Fuck out of here with this shit, man.
Shit, bro.
God damn, man.
Oh,
Nah,
no.
bro, we gotta get the fuck
Fuck
out
out
of
of
here,
here,
bro.
dog.
This shit right here, this shit is strange, bro.
Right.
We got a bunch of Jim Carrey cable guy. We got a whole bunch of YNs that really cable guys.
Yeah.
That's this is fucked up.
Man.
These are really
GMO cable.
Yeah, GMO cable guy.
Yeah. They say that there's leads to too much screen time in autism. They call it virtual, when your kid can have signs of autism, but not have autism. It's called virtual autism. I think it's autism. Just call it what it
Right. It's called, yeah.
And that's just the kids being in front of TV 24 fucking 7, bro.
Man,
That's why it's good, you know what I'm saying, to cut that shit off, make them go play. They go play.
Take your ass outside or something.
You know?
Let's read. Get that break. Let's go.
Shit, man, you be so you gotta work so hard to take care of your children. You may do 12 hours. You be like, man, you had a kid come in, he watch TV today? All right. You gotta do the lesson. You trying to be the spirit. Like, man, shit it's not that easy, bro.
All right, man.
that time for yourself. Just
Yeah,
sit down, think.
Yeah, your kids just come in and hey, be 8 o'clock. You be your day off. Hey, what's up, man? You don't want to be an asshole, kick them out, but you like, all right, it's not a deal, you know.
And your child goes to bed, and then you got some time for yourself, but you tired. You're the
You tired,
Right. Yeah.
you got 3 hours to yourself, and that's how you control you. The elder Yahshua says it's out to control you with time.
Yep.
Your time is controlled, bro. While he has time, make all types of devices on his bed.
It's time. His job, his time is to regulate your team.
Yep.
How can
How can you squeeze more out of you? How can I squeeze more out of this enemy?
Something you get paid with it.
You got it.
Oh, somebody. I'm not.
No, yeah, I'm looking at it.
Come. Isaiah 24 and verse 4, it says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth,
Haughty people talking about even when you're haughty, that means that you're proud. You're in a position. It says even they languish, man. I was looking at an article and it says that now if you make 6 figures, like it really pretty much takes 6 figures to pretty much make it in society. Make it a minimum of 100K a year, man.
Right. So really, you making $7,000, about what, $7,600 a month?
Right.
So after tax, you down to 5,600. Shit.
Man.
Yeah, I'm just fucked up, bro.
It's like, bro,
You gotta do overtime.
it's like, as a lady, I'm like, bro,
Oh.
this shit just getting like, it increase the rate or some shit. Like, I got there, like, now it's like my paychecks is like slimmer and slimmer. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Your light bill is high for the data centers with AI. Your shit going skyrocket, bro. Your water bill and electric bill. Keep up with that shit.
Yeah, the water bill too.
You need a car, man, so you paying that man $1,000. So, damn,
Yep.
Yeah, the East.
it's for some shit that might happen.
Right.
You paying $4 a month for some shit that's not even that never happened. It's some political shit.
Group guys, probably they can have 2 bedrooms and more. The apartment or houses. Yeah. A lot of people have 1 bedroom because they got kids and things like that.
Right.
And these apartments, if you don't want to be off in the hood, even in the hood, you be paying $1,200-$1,300.
Yep, nowadays.
Now you're gonna get ready to pay $1,500-$1,600. No problem.
You go somewhere, in the Dallas area, we only paying 15. You know what I'm saying? 16. They fucking good.
Yep.
Hey. I go to a small ass city to get cheaper prices. You know what I'm saying? You be trying to stay out there.
Bars,
Far as hell, ain't nothing to eat but I got that Mexican food. Italian spot.
I know, right? Hey, your corner store got close to the motherfucker. Like, damn. Lunch big shit.
Restaurant.
Damn, man.
going back, Isaiah 24 and verse 5, the earth also is the Isaiah 24 and 5 says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. They have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
Right, since the earth is also defiled and the inhabitants thereof, man, because they have transgressed the laws. Read that again.
Isaiah 24 verse 5 says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate.
It's like, I'm sorry.
Right there. Verse Isaiah 24:5. The earth also is defiled and inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
Broken the everlasting covenant, man. See, because the laws are supposed to reign supreme, man. When you're operating under these laws, statutes, and commandments, the earth is naturally going to rejuvenate. Everything is going to work in sync. But now that you got the man of sin ruling Esau, the devil, right? And he's ruling the world of wickedness, everything is just thrown off. Everything fucked up, man. So now the earth is naturally going to fight against this. You know, the earth is naturally going to fight against the opposition, right? But we're living on the earth too. We here too. You know,
It's like your body fights off the cold. You know, your body has a cold and certain the fish mechanisms needed to get rid of that, to get rid of that,
Thank you, got time for another one.
to get rid of that disease and shit. Because the people who are ruling is ruling so unrighteously, humans have became the disease, man.
Man,
And it's like we become the problem to the earth under this shit.
yep, we add to it. You know, and it's like now it's a natural thing just to add to it.
Right.
You know, America that made this place a concrete jungle.
Yep.
You know, it's all kinds of factories, all kinds of pollution in the air.
Right.
they said New York is sinking, bro. All that goddamn weight of the concrete, bro. He's steady building on that shit. This shit, it's like you said, I can cut you off. Like, and he's steady, this dude, bro. Even in the daytime, bro. Driving here, bro, these niggas ain't doing no but building, bro. Getting more and more. More and more, bro. That shit is putting strain on them.
It's fucked up right now.
Bro.
Hey, you know, Tony, off the coast of Georgia, this nigga trying to make some coral reefs. This nigga dumping whole trains in the ocean. Trains. Yeah, bro. The MARTA train. I can watch this. It's the MARTA train out of Georgia. The MARTA train in the ocean. This nigga trying to build them coral reefs. But this nigga dumping whole trains.
Train in the ocean refers to retired Atlantis.
They dumping whole trains in the ocean. Something goes to
Create artificial reefs.
artificial reefs.
And are part of a sustainability effort of the Georgia Department of Natural Resources.
And now you got to make artificial. Why don't you just keep trees, bro?
Right.
Hey, can you look up? Yeah, you're all right. Man,
the benefits.
the beneficial coral reefs, man. But this man has totally destroyed this man has totally
go.
destroyed the ecosystem.
Right.
You know? And that's because he can't keep it at home. Even and this has occurred, even during the time of Christopher Columbus. You gotta think, because he was bringing goods and things of that nature over here, taking goods over there, totally disrupting the ecosystem, man.
Right.
Hey, shit, killing the buffalo. Because the buffalo used to basically eat the high grass in the Great Plains, and that would basically stop mudslides, well not mudslides, but flood and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So during the early 1900s, you had the great dust storms, things of that nature. That's because this man killed all the damn buffalo.
Yeah. Hey.
So he had to basically rig the ecosystem for it to basically keep producing. This is what he's doing with coral reefs, man.
The trains make artificial.
No, I was gonna say,
Yep.
beavers.
Oh,
They killing their head, fucking up the ecosystem. Like, listen, beavers. Bro, even before the train, I ain't know that about the train. I knew that they was throwing used tires in the ocean trying to create.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, bro, what's that scripture Revelation that says,
Well, he does for the earth. I got it. Revelations 11:18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come. At the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and should destroy them which destroy the earth.
Should destroy them, which destroy the earth, man. You know, the earth is being destroyed daily, man. Right. All kinds of fracking. You know, the earth doesn't. You know, the earth is living. The earth has a spirit. Man.
Right. Yep.
The earth is living. Right. And you constantly, you know, here it is. Esau's constantly working the earth too. People getting worked. The earth is getting worked. You know what I'm saying? The ozone layer got trash and debris off in the ozone layer.
Around like the
The
metal.
water's just dumping. Bro, who the fuck dumps a train in the water, bro? Just trains.
I mean, see, when you make the motherfucker, you can break it down.
Thought about it.
Break the shit down when you eat. Make it use it for something else. You dump a whole motherfucking train off the coast of Georgia. All right.
To make it artificial.
Right, then why don't you just stop doing what you're doing? So you can kill the fucking reefs, bro.
Right.
Like, before you get this, can I get the definition of ecosystem? This is according to AIO view. It says an ecosystem is a community where living organisms, plants, animals, microbes interact with each other and their non-living surroundings, air, water, soil, sunlight, temperature, as a functional unit characterized by nutrient cycles and energy flow ranging from a small pond to a vast forest, forming interconnected systems that sustain life.
Wow.
There's a perfect ecosystem that the Most High has made in order for life to basically produce and to flourish. But under this man's rulership, life is destroyed. Right? Even on a small level of insects, it's a term called insecticide, to where you have insects dying, which is very vital for the ecosystem.
Yep.
So you got animals dropping dead, right?
Yeah.
Why is that? That's because of this man's rulership.
Why you have an animal that's so called extinct?
Right.
So-called. That's what I'm saying. So-called, because, you know.
Yeah.
Like that shouldn't even be happening.
Right.
You know, Yahweh, his name means he is to exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we're supposed to exist.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna get the free stuff for you, real quick.
Okay.
Sirach 39 and 19. Sorry, verse 16 says, "All the works of the Lord are exceeding good, and whatsoever he commandeth shall be accomplished in due season." So everything that the Lord does is good, man. When Yahweh shine the angels was great and everything, it said that what? It was good. This was good. That was good. But Esau comes and he does his little bullshit. He switches. I can make it better. That was good. But it's really death.
Yep.
That's why the scripture says he is as death and as hell.
Right.
And he cannot be satisfied. His whole MO is just to fuck everything up. That's what Esau was created to do, was just to jack up everything. He was to jack up life.
Man,
See?
you're supposed to hate that shit, man.
It should make you mad, man. And if you in the right spirit, that should piss you off, man.
I got one for you, Charles. You got one. Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 9. For the ungodly and its ungodliness are both alike hateful unto the Most High.
I'm sorry, man.
Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 9. For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto the Most High.
Man, ungodly and his ungodliness. It's talking about the wicked, man.
Yep.
It's hateful to the Most High, man. Because you're pretty much looking at the creation of Yahweh Shah and his ways, and it's like a spit in the face, man.
Right.
That's why this man got to be taken out the way. Now, I have I typed in ChatGPT and said, what are the benefits of coral reefs? It said coral reefs are extremely valuable, both ecologically and economically. Here's a clear structured breakdown you can use. It says food and fisheries. Coral reefs support about 25% of all marine life. Bro, 25% of all marine life. That's high.
That's a lot, bro.
Bro, it says coral reefs support about 25% of all marine life, despite covering less than 1% of the ocean floor. They are nurseries for fish and shellfish. which what is the thing that shellfish cleans the water, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like a natural filter, right? Billions of people depend on reef fisheries for protein and livelihood. Coastal protection. Reefs act as a natural barrier, reducing wave energy by up to 97%.
Oh, interesting.
I can say,
It says reefs act as natural barriers, reducing wave energy by up to 97%. Damn. Wow.
reefs are a living organism. They're living.
Right.
So this nigga said, well, we killing this, so what we gonna do? Throw a train down here, let it catch all the stuff for the different marine life to feed off of. Throw a train down there. Who thought of a damn train just throw it down? See, when sometimes you think about this man, he's diabolical. You're like, who would think of that? Esau, nigga, a train?
Frank.
We'll throw a train down there.
Long ties.
No, that's diabolical. You know, so you killing something that's living and help basically 25% of the marine life and throwing something that's not that's material, something dead, and saying it's gonna benefit from it. This is gonna contribute to that.
Right. That's why when you look at those animal documentaries, and especially dealing with the ocean, Esau go to film, he don't just film it all. He film around the coral reefs because that's where all the life is.
Yep.
Right. All particular life, sharks, fish, octopus, all of them live and benefit from the coral reef, man. You know. You have some more than that, Tom? Yep, I do, but you got it. I want to point this out too about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch going into the ocean. It says it's a vast what it says it's estimates suggesting it's around twice the size of Texas. It says about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It says, however, it's not a solid island. It's dispersed plastic soup, microplastics, and large debris caught in ocean currents, making it hard to see from above, though dense accumulations of microplastics do form trash islands.
Like, so it's a whole bunch of trash that's 2 times the size of Texas.
Yeah.
It's in the ocean, killing all types of animals. And then you wonder why these kids are so damn sick. That shit is in the food that we digest. It's what's it called? Microplastics. Right? Microplastic has estrogen and things of that nature. You wonder why these kids are so androgynous? But it's food that we consume, man.
Right.
Every aspect of life has been tainted.
Right.
They know we're preaching, bro, is bigger than us being a couple of blacks and Latinos and Native Americans, man, and white people. Way bigger than that, bro. Way more nuanced than that.
Right.
Life is literally suffering under this man's rulership, man. Of course.
This is Revelation 6:8. It says, and I looked and behold a pale horse, and his name that sat on it was Death and Hell, followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword and with hunger and with death and with the beasts of the earth.
That's right. That's Esau Edom. Esau Edom, you know what I'm saying, was given that sword by the whole side, you know what I'm saying, to basically kill every fucking thing, bro. Life cannot exist under this man's ownership.
Okay.
It says, if the Lord doesn't come back, there will be no more flesh. And it's real.
Yeah.
Right? In so-called developed countries, people aren't procreating. Like the number of people that's needed to be that's needed, you know what I'm saying, in these cities, like these so-called developed countries, they're not being seen. That the people aren't procreating anymore. So the population is lower to where, you know, people that's supposed to be entering into the workforce and keeping the economy going afloat, they don't exist.
You need workers. You gotta have kids.
You got AI taking.
Right, and that's why that's why there's such an influx of immigration in so-called developed countries. Like, people don't want to talk about that though.
No, they
Even in places like Japan,
Change.
yeah, they had to bring people in. You know, I forget the term they use. They're basically like You know that now you have in Japan that turns like do it yourself to where people take themselves out to eat. You know what I'm saying? A very Western mindset, right? People marrying AI images, loneliness at all time high.
Damn,
People marrying themselves. It's unnatural.
they so confused. He's so
You're supposed to be for a love supply. This is a phenomenon that you see in developed countries, so-called developed countries,
Right.
to where you know what I'm saying, mental illness is flourishing
Yeah. Yeah.
in so-called developed countries. Why is that? Confusion is an all-time high.
Yeah.
big time.
Depression.
See, I had a client send me something. He listened to a podcast. He said in Brazil, the women they want the government over there to legalize polygamy. They want to legalize this shit because I don't. I say, damn,
Hey,
because these women know that you got to need a man. But then, like you said, Mike, these motherfuckers so confused, man. You flying in people to procreate in your country and shit.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
See, that's crazy,
You
bro.
demonize them because they come over here with traditional values.
Wow.
You find them coming over here with traditional values, right? A lot of these women out here, you see, man, these black tribes, man, these northern tribes, man, they humble, but well, they come to the country where a man will put their foot up your ass.
Yeah.
Quickly. You will be in somebody's ditch.
See the videos and see the videos of cartel members. And I have women, you know what I'm saying? And the videos be graphic, man.
Yeah, they do.
Be hit and all that kind of crap, man.
All be a regular person.
Yeah.
That man put their foot up their ass.
Right.
You know?
It's just all kinds of confusion out here, man. You know, you shouldn't have to. Yeah, you shouldn't have to fly somebody in down here to procreation.
Right. Because your nation that's so-called so developed is not procreating.
Right.
Men and women are at odds.
Right.
Wherever you go, where your philosophy goes, it's happening in Japan right now. It's happening in so-called, well, I can't say so-called, land of Israel right now. Men and women are at odds with one another. It's happening in UK.
Man.
There's nigga women in UK.
Said you had Cardi B. I guess she just went on took a trip over there to Dubai. She had posted something saying she'd rather live in Dubai than they all come back to America. She American, the American ghetto. You know what I'm saying? That shit real.
Yeah, you get on your goddamn.
It's a cool. She's one of them cool hoes. You know, one of them hoes. You know, just cool in high school. You know, she a hoe. And she just cool. See, that's Cardi B.
Yeah.
I'm saying, how you gonna live up under Dubai laws when the nigga you marry got another woman in Dubai? You can have more than one woman.
Right, exactly.
Like,
Right.
it's
But
stupid.
when you look at Dubai, and that's a developed country.
Right.
When you look at the crime rate, they ain't got no petty crime. They petty crime rate is 0%, bro.
Yeah.
There you go. And that lets you know, that shows you that America could be doing the same thing, but this is ran by the wicked program.
Yep.
You know, they got it exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is the place where it says it's light and that's darkness. You know? It's the land of without any order.
Right.
Like it says in Job 10 chapter. That's why this stuff got to be put down, man. Like you said, if you go out there to Dubai, man, you know, man, they'll like little petty crimes, man, they'll be all that. Look, you get your ass him the beef up out there in Dubai.
And the one girl, the music put out there, got
Oh, she's
off that deck, talking shit to the Uber driver,
Yeah,
put her ass in jail.
Yep.
She took it.
Yeah, what? She shouldn't go down, man, and shit like that. That's like gotta be a man in America, man. These women have no respect for male and male authority. These young girls will break your damn shoulder.
Yeah.
You gotta move for them. Women break. I'm glad I do not like working with women, bro. But this is people walking, they'll break your fucking shoulder, bro. What I mean by that is just bump into you.
Yep.
Expect you to move. There's no sense of like take your life.
Real.
They feel like they can put the man till they get hit.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
They feel like they can put the man.
Get slapped.
Yeah.
You got all this imagery in the film industry that uplifts that mindset.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That see a woman don't see the action 5 days, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
You see that like I got to kick it up.
Right.
You know?
Picking them up, throwing them,
Yeah.
swinging them.
Colombian.
Yeah. Then you show like you have like the family oriented show, and the woman is always smart one. Like,
Right.
man is always the dumb, dumb, don't understand anything.
Yep.
She always over him.
Can't open the job.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
He's a fat idiot.
Right.
But somehow, some way, he go work every day and the bills are paid. They have a house and she stay at home. How does that work?
Right.
Well,
So this place is backward, bro. It's producing, a backward society.
That's right.
Hey, what's that? Is Sirach the 10th chapter? You got it. You got it.
This is Sirach, Ecclesiastes 10, verse 1. It says, "The wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered." As the judge, the wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
Right. A government of prudent man is world order. You're going to put certain things in place. If you were smart, you could put certain things in place to enforce the family nucleus. So you can have a productive society. People put things in place that's going to destroy the family nucleus and lessen and decrease the population. Right? He decreases the population to where he has to have immigrants come in. If you were organized, you would have certain things in place that would uplift the community. See the exact opposite. See decades. Go ahead, huh?
Ecclesiastes 10 and 2. It says, "As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein."
Hey, so we after under some wayward people, man. That's straight from the womb. Yep. Estranged people, man, into all types of madness.
yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? In decades. So of course, guess what? Shit. That's how the people gonna be, man. You got all these fucking terms for sexualities. Now it's not two genders now. You got people that's into all types of things. Now it's a you can quantify your sexuality. I'm a sapiosexual. I'm a so sexual. This and all this fucking confusion.
Right.
But nobody's procreating.
Right. Exactly.
You got all these terms of sexual. Sorry, yes.
No, I said, what's up with that? That's all I said.
You got all these terms of different sexualities, things that nature, but nobody's getting along. Men and women are at each other's throat at an all-time high. Everybody's fed up.
Up when a woman fed up, when a race fed up.
The whole race mad at each other.
Hell yeah.
Black men and black women, so-called black men and black women hate each other because
It's crazy.
That's divided coverage. You can divide. If you can divide the man and the woman, get them fighting against each other. They ain't gonna procreate that way.
Right.
And that messes up so-called marriages, man. The structure, because the structure of marriage is to what ultimately extend your household, to extend your business, your enterprise. Esau don't want you doing that.
yeah,
That's why baby mama culture is promoted here. Oh, that's what baby mama.
right. What not they would rather be a baby mama than part of me would rather be a baby mama than a wife. It's not the nigga that she with, he was somebody because he would cheat. to go hard to you, but somebody else that has another baby with another woman.
Yep.
It's not because she cool. They talk.
She pregnant by for 5 days, and she's
Yeah.
still technically married to Offset. Right. So it's just confusion.
Yes.
It's a bunch of madness, man. That's, it's just
Right there on America.
Yep.
Shit can't go on the way it is.
So, back in Sirach 10:3, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
Right. And the city's not inhabited.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? The city's not inhabited by people. People are procreating. People
Right.
are getting along, man. People don't trust one another.
Right.
People are tired of one another. Right? You don't see that phenomenon just in so-called Negroes. You see that with shit. Basically, anyone who was born in the U.S. You got these heinous, right? Which is the Latina wiki heinous. They they had each other's throat. Well, them and that Bill counterparts at each other. It's part of this place. Feminism. Okay? You can play that on Esau Edom. So-called white race. We said
This Sirach 6, Sirach chapter 16 and verse 4 in the GNT. A city's population may grow because of the wisdom of one person, while a whole tribe of lawless people disappears.
right. Break down.
Yeah, shit, like going into what you lawless, this is what you got, man. See the population disappearing, man. You think this gonna be taking place in the kingdom of heaven, man? People, you know what I'm saying? Decreasing. That ain't the will of the Lord, man. The will of the Lord is for things to flourish, man, to be fruitful and multiply. That shows the greatness of a society, man. Things are multiplying, bro. You know what I'm saying? Versus Esau, under this nigga rulership, everything dying. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's like the other importance. Nobody is created. You see?
if you, I'm sorry. I was saying if you procreate and you being more fruitful, you put yourself more. Now in this world, you're put under more stress.
Man,
Right. Yeah.
When you're supposed to be fruitful, multiply, that's supposed to make you more that's supposed to glorify your household. Man.
yeah.
You be fruitful, multiply today, man. You talk about stress out the walls. Let yourself be finding out that you got a child, you know what I'm saying? You got no way, you got no long way. Bro, you stressed.
Can't
A
afford
lot.
You stressed out trying to figure out what the hell you gonna do.
Start having all these kids, the egg will start hurting, start smoking cigarettes, start drinking and shit. Boy,
A little bit more.
yeah,
Because you're trying to figure things out.
yeah. You say, I'm pregnant. Like, all right, you excited now. Say I'm pregnant. You like,
Yeah, that's
You're like, what you thinking?
damn,
third one. You be like, shit.
I gotta find another cow.
Yup. I gotta come back to that.
Hey,
Shit together.
Right. And because it's a beautiful thing. As a man, naturally it's a beautiful thing. Even for a woman in a right mind. But nowadays women get pregnant. But naturally it's a beautiful thing. That's you want to further your enterprise. You want to further your extension. That's natural. But in this world, you can't do it in righteousness, man. You can't do it the way that it's supposed to be. Because in this world, it brings forth more problems, brings forth more stress. Like granted, brother, in a situation where he may have children, at the end of the day, the Lord got us. It's just not advantageous. It's not expedient in this society right now.
Having kids, that's a part of the cares of the stuff. Hate to say it, but yes.
the Judas son that got put to death with the reason that because his brother died, and his wife, he's supposed to be procreating with her, and he took it out, look what we doing every time, we supposed to stay in when we, getting something from a woman, but now we're like,
Pour it out.
yeah,
Lord put him to death.
well, pull him
Doing
together.
the seed, but out.
Spill the seed on the floor. Supposed to go into his brother, levirate marriage. You know, your brother, you know what I'm saying? Your brother ain't supposed to be, you have a wife and you don't got no seed, you have no children, and you pass away, your brother's supposed to go into your wife so that your name can continue.
That's right.
Keep that legacy going.
You know? But nowadays you got men, you know, getting vasectomies.
Yep.
That's why I said you should do one, Rob. Man, I can't be I'm going out. You got me fucked up.
You got a guy like Slim Boy saying,
So, yeah, you know, women get, you know,
Get them
get
DI, whatever, put them shits.
back in the ancient world, man, if a woman was married, that was like, man, she like, do everything she can. Like, she pray to the Lord, like, can I have a son? And the same response. Like, Lord, if you give me a son, I'll dedicate him, I'll give him to you. I just want, you know, I just want a son.
Right.
nowadays, people are depressed because they really don't have meaning in life.
That's right.
Because of your life. For men and women, you're supposed to procreate. That's supposed to get right. Now, see, these women out here are so fucking selfish. They believe that their career gives them meaning.
Right.
Fucking piece of paper gives them meaning versus a family. You got men out there, they want to procreate, but they don't trust women.
Right.
Being burned or seeing some shit like when they was younger. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So they probably just they had the mindset of just living by themselves, mag top.
Right, dude.
They ain't go your own way.
Yep,
Focus on yourself and just, basically just pay for it when you can.
Work out. Money,
Work out, get yourself together. Which, hey, I get it.
Big time.
That leaves life meaningless. Meaningless. If you ain't serving the Lord, then what you doing with yourself, bro?
Big time.
Got a precept real quick.
God.
Ecclesiasticus 3:9. For the blessing of the father established at the houses of children.
Right, and that's been taken away from man. Manhood has been demonized here in Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's kind of toxic. Toxic masculinity. Raise your voice, you're being toxic. Put the kids in toxic. The woman caters to you, you're toxic.
Right.
Towards some man like, oh, fuck you. But, hey, you got it. They don't even want to be in the children's life. The woman done ran them off.
Right.
Sad situation.
The devil just allowed them to be in the life. So these kids growing up confused as hell and blended fans. Getting treated all types of way. It's fucked up, right?
Right.
I'm with a stud now.
Mama with a damn stud.
Right.
Hey, Jair, what you trying to play basketball? You know what I'm saying?
Bro, yeah. Stud got a goddamn thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you about the dog.
Walking around with the pocket, with the chain connected to the wallet.
Right.
Oh, watch this.
Yeah, man. Dude,
Big ass clothes.
yeah. Fat form collar shirts.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shit crazy.
Yeah. That's what they.
Here we go back to it. Ecclesiastes 3:9, right? It says, for the blessing of the father established the house of the children, but the curse of the mother ruleth out foundations.
Right. The curse of the mother rooted out foundation. And but majority of these women, they're not right, bro. Especially the so-called black woman. You just gotta call it what it is, man. Majority of these women ain't right. They're not right, bro. These black women, they overtly ain't right. And a lot of these women other women that you get with, you find out they ain't right either.
Yep. No.
You can blame that on Esau.
Turning things upside down.
All had the same. My people had the same mantra. Man ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? But they the worst people ever. To the worst people ever in a time like the women out here.
Shit, like you said, he took away the purpose. Took away the purpose of a woman. Like going back to what you mentioned earlier, times about women being buried in the ancient world was looked at as a, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the purpose, like, man, damn, something wrong with you. Even marriage, man. Back in the ancient world, it tells you about that the father, he want to give his daughter out. It thinks about marriage, man. See further in the family, man. But here in this society, man, many people don't look at, man, these women ain't trying to get married. They don't even, the whole. This nigga has fucked up every goddamn thing, man. That's why the scriptures say, what is it? Neither give a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. Right? You look up that definition, gad abroad. It means it's to wander around aimlessly with no purpose, man. Nigga that took the purpose of the woman and wonder why they whole asses aren't happy, man. Right? And clapping when Kevin Samuels died. Yeah, when the nigga was just telling your ass what it was, man. Right. You know,
Gail King over here looking for a boyfriend.
Shit. Hey, you got what you got Stacey Dash. Now what do you call it?
OnlyFans.
Look, this motherfucker, bitch, you had 3 husbands. Bitch, you the fucking number done enough. You and Roger Simmons,
Mama Lee. Yeah.
He said, bitch, I paid you 50 grand a month, but I'm a deadbeat. I gave you 12 million over 20 years, but I'm a deadbeat. Motherfucker, it's crazy.
She OnlyFans too.
No. She crying out. Shit, she had 3, 4 husbands. Now this bitch crying. She got Stacey Dash on OnlyFans. I'm like, buddy, you motherfucker.
And that goes to show you that just goes to show you how low men have gotten. To the point whereas now you got, you have OnlyFans. It's crazy. So I was looking this up yesterday. The highest earner of the OnlyFans, how much they make in a month, right? Iggy Azalea.
She they got rap.
Bro, you know how much she made in 1 month?
She a rapper.
OnlyFans?
About 10 grand.
Yeah.
More than that?
Or guess.
And one 30 days, 31 days, 60,000.
10 million.
9.3 million.
Yeah.
Oh hell, come on, man. Nah, bro.
9.3 million
What?
in a month.
Damn.
And all she does is just copy this nigga woman.
Right.
You know she from Australia, right?
Yeah.
You hear, you think, oh damn, she fucked me from Michigan or somewhere. She
Oh, that's a big
it's
source.
from down under.
Yeah.
Now, what?
See, I bought
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
$9.3 million. That's men
That bitch.
going online and subscribing. And you know how much I looked it up yesterday. You know how much a monthly subscription was?
How much?
$25.
So it mean,
Bro.
Them niggas just doing that just look at them.
I kid you
Wow.
not.
More to look at.
nigga scream stick his hell.
They know they sell.
Socks on Christy and shit.
Straws all sticking to your leg.
I was walking in. I found the sock. Oh, where you going?
That's just stuck like,
Get out of my room.
hey, that sound like Velcro.
There it is. Damn. Hey,
Shit, got out. Shit, that one. Sock like Velcro in that motherfucker.
what I tell you about wiping up the cereal with your socks? Black sock.
9.3 million in 30 days, bro. God, that's a lot of fucking bread.
9.3 million in a month.
So you can't tell her. God damn.
Nah.
Hell.
And then she just miraculously just stopped doing it for more. She made that 9.3 million. All right,
I do nothing else no more. If that shit right, you good.
You gonna do it for 1 month? I'm sure she did it for 1 month.
Yeah, she did it for one. Thinking, bro, she's making millions a month.
Wow.
That's you gotta get out of here. You gotta get out of here. That's
Right.
that we in. Jake is in a low state. You know what I'm saying? But
What did you say? You said that in the chat about crack. It was a weapon of mass destruction.
Yeah.
Yep.
That shit is
Real
real,
talk.
bro.
That's that real.
I think it was 6 1 crack.
Real.
Yeah, still out there. And next time you see that nigga smoke crack. All right, you start crack case, they crack.
Right.
they'll do anything for that shit. Like for real.
I'm people talking to that girl. She came out. Fuck. These people that be crack. No, she be by herself. She came out to a camp. Like, I just got kicked out. Yeah, I think that was her. I was like, you should go back home. You know, she
It's back at Sirach 10, verse 4. It says, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
That's right. This is what we're fighting for. fighting for this world to be brought back to its former glory, bro. Right? Things these so all out of back there. These niggas bigger than us. He ain't mad at so-called white people.
When you first come in, that's so-called white people know. That's how he is. It's like, bro, like, really, it's like, go after people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, Jake is fucking.
Jake is very, very unpleasant to be around.
Yeah,
I'm talking about from the high from Jake to Jake that has money. Jake is very difficult to be around. Especially women, bro. Especially y'all women. Whether it be so-called Latino women or the nigga woman, especially that nigga. Man, it's unpleasant to be around. Because the pride is too often.
Yeah.
It's very proudful individuals, bro. Talk to you crazy, telling you all types of things.
because they feel because nothing ain't happened to them.
Yep.
You know, their life as they know it hasn't been dramatically changed. And you know it's all about a position of the hegemony.
Yep.
You know, the Lord gonna change that. When shit hits the fan, that's when people will try to start being in order and all that kind of stuff. But it's gonna be too late for a lot of people. It's too late to apologize. It's gonna be too late. Exactly.
That's all right.
Too late to apologize. It's too late. You know. Yeah. It's about 10. Did you finish it up or you good?
Finish it.
This is back in Sirach 10 and verse 5. It says, in the hands of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is the prosperity of man. And under the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor.
Under the person of the scribe, shall he lay his honor, man. And that goes into what is priest. Scripture says that what the priest's lips shall what? Teach knowledge. And that's our job as we go out there and establish the byways, man. Our job is to proclaim the message of your outlaw tribe. Read that, can you read that again?
Done. Sirach 10 and 5. In the hands of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is the prosperity of man. And
It's the prosperity of man, not the death. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But in the hand of the wicked is just nothing but death.
Yeah.
You know?
Prosperity, in the verse earlier said profitable. All this is something that's addages, something that adds to. When the wicked rule, the unwise king rule, it's always a deletion or a subtraction.
Right.
Earth's supposed to be flourished. I think in the Blue Letter, it says about 10 times together. You put in fruitful and multiply, it says about 10 times. Well, it's constantly telling them be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. What Esau, it said, it just basically say, don't procreate and delete.
And that proof prophecy is on point. We still got the blessing that let you know who's in rulership if you spiritual and you understand prophecy right there. Right. Take peace from the earth, man. The sword means to cut. And that's exactly what the fuck he's doing.
That's right.
Yep. If you got a call for shit, blame Esau for it. Nope. Oh.
The coffee we got now is way different from the one that was in bags. Manufactured.
Manufacturing call. Going from a no cough at all to a manufacturing shit. Yeah, because this nigga.
Yeah, we get cold. Cough. There's a cough a couple years ago. It was cough breaking a ribs.
Yeah. Bro, it's like take peace from the earth. Every time I think about that, bro, it make me think of that scripture, man.
Like literally, you coughing so damn hard, and ribs was cracking. I was like, bro, you coughing so hard, you cracking your ribs? Like that's insane. Like God damn, bro.
Goddamn kingdom, bro.
Niggas clean out a place. Like, damn, I am dying.
Damn, bro, niggas get paralyzed.
Oh, shit.
I read that article. I was like, wow.
Man.
Red
Need
Ranger
a
coffee.
piece of it.
Look it up. Serious, man. People attacking their ribs coffee.
I know.
Damn.
Shit.
You gotta get out there.
Still coughing while it's cracked. It's hurt and shit.
You
You from
try to
you
hold
from
it in.
coffee.
Try to hold it in.
Shit for real, bro.
You gotta
So unwise
go
king.
at it.
Yeah, unwise king. That's what you get.
You know, the Lord really fucked us up, man.
Yeah.
We gave us an angel for a trip.
Yeah.
And take us to slow.
It says our father had eaten sour grapes and children's teeth are set in eggs. Man, we feel that shit.
Man.
Like Sirach 10 and 5, it says, in the hands of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is the prosperity of faith, and upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor. Bear not hatred, it says, bear not hatred to thy neighbor
right there.
every wrong, and do nothing at all thy injurious practices.
Man, injurious practices, man. You know, and did not Esau establish America by injurious practices? You know, using the sword, you know what I'm saying? Subjugating peoples, you know? You got it.
This is verse 7. It says, pride is hateful before Yahweh Shem Yahushua and man, and by both do one commit iniquity. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
It is. By unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is about to be translated. See? Power is going to be translated, man. And power ain't just going to disappear. No, it's going to be translated from one group of people to another group of people. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
Right.
You know? That's what we ultimately advocate, man. The spirit of power behind Yahweh Shai, man. The throne of David being established, the elect being risen up, and system going down, and ultimately peace reigning, man. You know?
That's right, man.
So with that, you know, we pray this is an edifying camp. As always, want to give all praise, honor, glory unto
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rakadash.
double honors to the apostles, bishops, and others who reveal stone, tell us the truth, still teach the truth, but we so decide to take it to the election.
So,
Yeah. The water, elder.